Let's talk about what's happening in Victoria. I mean, what a mess it is. 2 Victorian police officers had to be hospitalised over the weekend after left-wing activists attacked officers during protests in Melbourne. Let's listen to Victoria Police.
The people that came to pick the fight with police were the issue-motivated groups on the left. I can tell you that the March for Australia group, they were peaceful, they were engaging, they listened to our instructions, they did what they were told, and they protested by example. The disruption to Melbourne, to the general public who want to come into our fine city, the disruption to businesses, we really need to find an answer of what we do.
So, Adam, police making it very clear who's causing trouble here, left-wing activists, far left-wing activists. Yet that seemed to have been missed by many of our mainstream media outlets.
No, look, certainly that's true. After the march on Sunday, I went to The Age to read what had happened, and I read an article, and it sounded like from the article that it was all the March for Australia people that were doing terrible things. And then later on in the day, I saw that clip, and I thought, hang on, that's the complete opposite of what was reported, basically, or certainly what was implied. So it's good that the police were calling out the truth. And, you know, my experience is, at least, that the left-wing protests are extremely vicious and violent. In fact, you know, a few months ago when I first arrived in Melbourne, I found myself caught up in a trans rights protest on Bourke Street. I wasn't willingly there, but I was there, and I saw the way they treated the police, and it was unbelievably bad, spitting on them, screaming at them. You know, I was really shocked. So it's good that the police have said that, and, you know, maybe that goes some way to restoring the public's respect for the Victorian police, because, of course, since COVID, their reputation has declined somewhat. But you know, most of the March for Australia people, I think, were very peaceful from what I hear. And yet on the other side, there were burnings of Australian flags and so forth. Very disappointing.
And it's refreshing to hear the truth from the police there, making that really important point that most of the people who turned out for the March for Australia rally were peaceful. And look, Adam, I've been in similar situations as you when I've spent plenty of years in Melbourne reporting and covering protests. I've seen some very far left-wing activists be very aggressive, and it's really not a pleasant experience at all.
Yeah, just a broader point. Just a broader point on Victoria. It's, you know, really sad. The press Victoria has been getting recently is just absolutely shocking, whether it's crime or economics. And I just can't believe that the state government here doesn't realise how bad it is for their citizens. I mean, people are moving away, house prices are falling. It's very sad, not just for Victoria, but also for Australia too.
It is.
So I really think the Labor government down there is a black mark on the country at the moment. But anyway, maybe that was...
No, I agree with you. And Premier Jacinta Allen must be divorced from reality. I mean, she's insisting that the city is safe as Melbourne's right in the middle of this horrific crime wave, Adam.
Yeah, that's true. Indeed, some crime statistics came out recently, at least on the burglary and the carjacking front. The absolute numbers are actually double in Victoria from New South Wales, which is extraordinary, because the population, of course, in New South Wales is about 20-30% higher, but there are actually more crimes down there. And I think, you know, a part of the reason, I think, is the rate of incarceration in Victoria is just so low. I think the rate there, from memory, the IPA did some research on this recently, and Victoria has the lowest rate of incarceration in the country, 104, I think, per 100,000. And in New South Wales, 194, and I think in Western Australia, 200 and something. So, you know, if you're not putting criminals in jail, well, you know, of course there's going to be more crime on the streets. And the Andrews government, the Allen government, they've changed the laws, I think, repeatedly in the last 5 years to basically make it harder for the judiciary to put people in prison.
That's exactly right. And I think if you look at what's happening now also is partly the result of Daniel Andrews putting Melbourne and Victoria through one of the world's longest lockdowns. And I mean, it's horrific for so many citizens. But I think it's very frustrating for everyone in Australia, not even people in Melbourne, to hear from Premier Jacinta Allen saying that the city is safe when, you know, any day now that you turn on the news, there's another machete attack. And so she's just gaslighting Victorians. But Adam Creighton, thank you so much for joining us. Brilliant to speak with you.
Thanks very much.